looking straight down at this one again to both, I guess, start and end off today's day, because it is now 11:45 at night, quarter of midnight, quarter of the next day starting. And I was just standing over here on the side of the balcony, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. I never usually get this close to the edge of my balcony, because I'm not usually the best person in the world in regards to heights, which is ironic because we're one of the apartments. It's on the 7th floor, but here we are. Anyway, I guess back to my chair to finish off today for the most part. One of the things from the other day that you guys didn't get to see is actually I left this camera out here sitting on the table pointing out this way at like some point. It was yesterday. And then, because I wanted to capture that scratch audio from, what vlog day was that? 602, where we were in Jess's car and they were playing music, and so I had to mute out the music, and so I just had to use scratch audio that was just basically this. And, well, first off, I can't honestly tell how that came out. I think it actually came out decently well. In terms of, I mean, it's obviously not going to sound like we were riding inside of a Prius, but I mean, it's Phil. It was literally just there, so, because you cannot have nothing in your audio track, which is why I didn't have nothing in my audio track, as anybody who's in film would know. Yeah, but I couldn't keep music for that, so I had to delete that, so I left the camera out here. Anyway, back to the segueing back to the story. I left the camera out here, and I was going to be like, 10 minutes of Phil should be enough. And then I left it out here, and I started to cook yesterday the shepherd's pie that I made. And forgot about it. And left it rolling. And it filmed an hour and 21 minutes of that until it killed the camera's battery. So yeah, I had to sift through that. And I actually cut the... Thank you for your interruption. Please hold all interruptions. But anyway, I finished cutting the audio for that and put it in with the rest of the sound of the cut. So it sounds decently normal, and I mean, it's not perfect, but, you know, it's enough to do. And I'm wondering if, I mean, the film people probably notice, but if you're not a film person, I'm not sure that you would notice, to be completely honest. So I think I did a decent enough job there. That's done. I'm going to start uploads when I go back in a little bit, because I need to get to bed, because as you're probably aware, my final day at work is tomorrow. So after that, it's basically me finishing up the classes and then, you know, going the-fuck back to Philadelphia. And I'll get there in a second, because I'll put out a spoiler warning before I start talking about that, where I was going to take that segue. But for... most of today, I was working on videos and other things, and also starting to kind of do a cleanup, because I never got to do my break cleanup between, and one more thing about the vlogs, before I tail my way back to that somehow, when it's completely forgotten, but the vlogs actually do have a segment cap of, I believe, 23 minutes and 44 seconds, so any single segment cannot be more than that, or we start dropping like one frame per, like a few frames or something in that period, which is why, God, some people have microscopic genitalia. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so like it will like because it'll go to a new clip, which basically makes us drop a few frames worth of video and audio, which is why in one of the road trip vlogs where Bethany held the camera steady for like an hour straight, or like a half an hour straight, we did have a very slight camera cut in there that was actually not a fuck up technically. It was not something that I could have prevented. It was legitimately just the camera having to create a new clip because we sped for somewhere close to a half an hour, which is over the 24 essentially minute cap. Let's not hit there tonight though. Where was I before? Fuck, I said I was gonna forget that segment. That segue. Dude, am I gonna have to go watch and figure out what the hell I was just talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember, and by now I remember I mean, yeah, I had to go rewatch the last vlog segment so I can remember what the hell just came out of my mouth. But I should also not scream, especially very high-pitchedly late at night. But as I was beginning to say before I got interrupted by me being an idiot, I did not ever get to do my cleanup of like my drives that I usually do between quarters and like, you know, dump everything academic onto drives. So my poor MacBook has been getting littered with files from these past few quarters, and my academic backup drive is at home. You guys are probably aware if you watched the vlog way back when, and if not, I'll just... This is the vlog of Interruptions. If you're not aware, I'll just fill you in, because Bethany and I, Bethany came over to my house one night, we finished our paper for our professor's class, and we left the next morning to come down here, and we spent basically our entire break on the road trip, along with, well, everybody else who met us up somewhere along the line. Yeah, so I never got to do that, so I spent some of today cleaning up my drives and things, because it does need to be cleaned up, and I can't officially back anything up, which means I can't delete anything until I get back home, but at least if I get some things cleaned up now, I can just start long file transfers and get things ready to go. And also, when I am done with using my MacBook, I have to move all of my things from my Mac drive, which is what I'm using now, to an intermediary drive, back to my regular footage drive on my computer, which is basically, right now the vlog is about 500 gigabytes, so that's basically a 1 terabyte transfer, because I have to do it twice. Luckily, USB 2 is decently, or USB 3, excuse me, is decently fast. Not USB 2. USB 2 is slow. But yeah, that'll be happening shortly. I've been working on that. Alright, on to my schedule for the rest of the time. I'm going to die at some point. I'm not sure exactly. Okay. That's the fuck is wrong with this vlog today. Okay, tomorrow, last day at work, mentioned that already. Moving on. Saturday, football game. That's about it. Moving on. Sunday is nothing, actually. This weekend, like, the football game is not an official Drexel LA event, but I'm going, so it's an event for me. There's no official event this weekend. Monday is actually not show business class, but Hollywoodland, because they flipped that with show business, which is now taking place on Tuesday. And Wednesday's an evening with class, and so that's Hollywoodland and an evening with out of the way after that week, because next week is week 10. And we have to make up Chad's class one more time, which is next Monday, not the 22nd, but the 29th. We have to make that class up because we lost that the day we went to the Dodgers game, July 4th, because it's a national holiday. We had that off. And that's about it. We're winding things down. The question after that is when we leave. Now, as you're probably aware by the fact that the counter says about in the bottom corner, we don't actually have an official date locked yet, because people are very differently opinionated on when they want to leave. I am in the camp of I want to leave ASAP, so I would not mind getting the fuck out on August 30th, and then taking 6 days to go cross country, which I know Christian is with me. Bethany wants to stay until September 3rd for the concert, which I told Bethany I would be okay with doing if we do the trip in 5 days, which is a little bit strenuous, but it's not actually that bad. And Jess is actually staying, well, Jess Peterson, who came up with us, is flying back because she has to be back even earlier. Jess Nabolski is going back later on her own schedule. but that's fine. I mean, she does have to go to Chicago anyway. My thing mostly relies on Bethany picking a date, and if the rest of the caravan wants to come, that's fine. But I would really, really like to be home for the evening of the 8th of September. I just think that's a good idea. I'd like to be back. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off here. I'm going to go to bed, get ready for work tomorrow, and end off work. And that's one more thing done before I am ready to go back to Philly. I'm going to cut the thing I was going to talk about in regards to TV show spoilers. I don't feel like talking about it at the moment. Whatever. See you guys tomorrow for probably more of this, because it'll be a post-work vlog.